Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com.
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task, and sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
Hi, I'm Sam from Adventures in Crafting. I'm a craft and crochet teacher based in Tring in Hertfordshire. Since lockdown, I've moved all of my classes onto Zoom, so I now have customers from all over the country. I teach lots of crafts, but crochet is my specialism. I became passionate about crochet when I was pregnant with my fourth child and in desperate need of some me time. Crochet became my sanctuary and I've crocheted every day since then. I'm a qualified teacher, and 8 years ago I began teaching crochet. I love sharing my passion with other people. I design patterns, sell kits and teach lots of classes. My classes range from beginners to next steps, specific makes and clubs. I also like to design crochet alongs. My most recent one was my autumn granny square crochet along, which resulted in me designing this allotment jumper, which I love to wear when I'm out gardening and looking after my chickens. My crochet tip for you is to enjoy it. Crochet should be about taking part in a hobby that brings you pleasure. My claim to fame is that I met Kirsty Allsop at the Handmade Fair and I gave her one of my crochet sunflower brooches. I'm so excited to be taking part in Yarn Lane and I hope you'll enjoy my demonstrations.
Are you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there!
Follow Sewing Street and Yarn Lane on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with what's coming up on the show, as well as being the first to know about our amazing offers. Get involved with our competitions that are exclusive to social media. And pick up some top tips from us too.
Welcome to Yarn Lane. Look at me surrounded by these colourful fabrics, colourful yarns. They're beautiful, aren't they? And what we have here is we have actually got lots of lovely kits. So we've got the yarns to make a kit and then we've got the books to go with it. But each of these books is more than that. It actually has more than the kit's worth in it. So it's really good value. So you've got quite a few projects in each kit, haven't you, Vanessa?
Yeah,
in each of the books.
In each of the books you've got 8 or 9 patterns.
8 or 9 patterns. So we're giving the yarn is for the one. But then you've got all these other patterns if you've got other yarns at home, so it's really good. So let's start with this one. So the stockings, this is this whole bundle here. I've got to be careful I don't mix my bundles up. Look at this bundle here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 balls of yarn. And it's to make the stockings which are on Vanessa's table. So those lovely stockings there. These are all 4-ply yarns. It does say 4. Oh, there is. I was going to say that doesn't look like the same to me. That's a chunky. 4-ply yarn and chunky, and this is crochet. This is all crochet. This is the pattern book that you get. Look at this. This is so. You see what we're saying? So these are to make the stockings, which are in here. They're the stockings, but as well as those. You can also make all of these other beautiful items, very clear instructions, all written out for you, all crochet. I love those, the baubles. Oh look, teapot cover, cute. So these are all in here. So what you're getting is this book for £29. You're getting this book with all of these different projects, and then you're getting enough yarn to do all 3 of those crocheted stockings. So that's a really lovely collection. I love all these little Santas and things, tea cozies, baubles. Very, very lovely. Then we have this one here. So this is the same book. You get the same book, but this time this yarn you've got here is to make the fairy lights. It's a garland of fairy lights. So it's all crocheted. This is what you're going to make with this one. Did you take a photo of that? Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that lovely? So you've got plenty to make that, haven't you?
Several garlands or a really, really long one.
Yes, going all around the room. It would be lovely. So again, the same booklet which has got these in there. So you've got all your different patterns and you've got yarns to make the garland, but there's plenty. There's absolutely plenty. Just the fairy lights one, yes, ignore the sock one that's there. That's another one entirely. Just that one we've got on the screen there, and this book with all of these different patterns in it. That's what you get with that. Good old bundle there, £24.99. All those yarns, I love the sparkles. So all of the yarn colours are listed on the description on the web if you wanted to look at that. So that goes with that one. Well, we have less than 20 of that one remaining, by the way. Do you want to go for this one? 17. This is a different booklet this time. Oh, so cute. So this is the one which is the Christmas pudding tea cosy. Loads of oh, look at these. Oh. I just tried this. Has this got the Christmas pudding tea cosy? Yes.
5.
Book 2. Is there another one that ends
That's
in?
Father Christmas and Rudolph. In
That's
that
Father
pack.
Christmas
so that's gonna
and
be Father
Rudolph,
Christmas
that
in
one.
that bundle with the yellow at the front for his belt.
6617 is the bundle I've got in front of me here. But this book goes with Santa and Rudolph.
Those colours
You
in
will
that
get the
pile,
right
Santa.
book. See if I can find the right one. What did I say, number 5? Yes. Ah, that's got... Must be one over here then. Got so many bundles for you here. Yes, it's that one over there. I'll put that one back so I don't get them mixed up. So the bundle that I'm looking for is over here. So let me grab it. Look at all these. I've got all these different... Oh! Just dropped one there. So this is the bundle we get with this one. So this is to do your Christmas pudding, which now makes sense. Because when I was looking at that, those colourful pink yarns and looking at the Christmas pudding thing. So you get these yarns here to make your Christmas pudding. They're 50 gram balls. And this is the book that you get. So again, more than that, it's not just that pattern. Here he is, the tea cosy. Not just that pattern, you get all of these other patterns too, but you get the yarn to make the tea cosy. I love the little gingerbread man. Oh, and this is the one that has the little gloves and socks. Isn't that sweet too? So that's really lovely. Robins, Christmas tree decks again. All crocheted, remember. Oh, hot water bottle cover. Look at that. Oh, I like that. That is so cute. So that's all of that. That's that bundle there, $24.99. And if I keep that together, so as I keep those yarns together, well now gloves and mittens one. It's like Christmas looking for raffle tickets. No, I've done that one. Not that one.
That's it.
Yes, thank you. I should just ask you. You know them, don't you?
It's only because I know the colours from doing the pieces.
So that's this one here. So this is the same book. Book 5. And here it is. Here's the garland. I love this. So on that, it looks like they've been stuffed with a little bit of wadding or something.
You can, yes. You can either leave them flat if you like to, or it says at the end of the pattern if you'd like to put a bit of stuffing down to make them a bit more 3D. It's completely how you like the look of it at the end.
It is, yeah, it's
I
nice.
I quite like them both ways. I tried it with both, and I left them flat for the demo purposes, but I did like them stuffed as well.
Yes, I quite like them stuffed as well. Although I feel that maybe not wadding. Maybe a
Not
little
over the
chocolate or
fireplace.
two or
Yeah, a
something.
couple of chocolates.
Not over the fireplace, no. So you get that. So you get the books. It's $19.99, and then you get this selection of yarns here. So look at all of these that you're getting with that one. So again, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yarns and the book with all of those patterns in it. So that's a really another lovely one. Pop that under there. Ah, this is this one. So this is the Christmas trees one. So again, I say Christmas trees one, but look at this. You get this full book. I just love. So we've got the doorstop here, but what you're getting in this kit, this bundle, is you're getting the yarns to make the Christmas tree, which is in this book. So these are, and you get to make all three of those trees, don't you? Yarn to make all 3 of these trees that are in the book. But also in the book, we have again some more bunting. Oh, look at this.
Christmas
Look
cactus.
at that.
I love
A
him.
cactus. That is so cute. Another tea cosy. I love this doorstop. I think he's super. I think Santa would stay all year round. Oh, look at that. So if we look at the website, hold on a second, maybe not. You're getting all of the yarns to make these trees in the bundle. Oh, I love these cut holders too. We can't get the button to work at the moment, but if you look on the website, you should be able to see all of the different yarns you're getting in each of these kits. So you just click on more details and it says exactly what's included in the bundle, because there's a lot in each bundle, plus the pattern book. And it is the yarn to make, the ones we're speaking of, although you have all these other patterns in there. Look at these spiral decorations. And these cup warmers. See, that's a fabulous Christmas gift.
Yeah, nice quick
isn't
make
it?
as well. So
Quick to make.
we've got 89 days, I think it is, until Christmas. So
don't.
think of the presents you could make between now and then.
But quick to make is important, I
It
think,
is,
because there's
yeah.
a lot else happening, isn't there? So aren't they lovely? So that's the one to make the 3 trees and all those other projects as well. But the yarn is to make the trees, just to reiterate that. And yes, this is this one. So this is to make this. Look at him. I've sat him down. But look, isn't he cute? And that kit you're getting is this book. So here he is, Father Christmas on the book, and this is the yarn you're getting is to make him. But you can also make a snowman. You can make little sort of, what would you say, snowflakes? Colourful snowflakes? Snowflake table runner. Christmas tree skirt. Garland. These are just, little reindeer. So the yarn you're getting is just for Father Christmas, but you have all of these other patterns that you can then go on to make. This is bauble tea cozy. I like this one. Very glitzy. The wreath, stars. So there's just so much in here. There's so much to make in these books. So the books alone would be great value. Let alone the fact you get all the yarn as well to make one of the projects. So that's a really good collection there. And we've got Rudolph. That's it, this one here. So it's that same book again, but this time you get the yarns to make Rudolph. So here are the yarns here you're going to get, these ones. And you're going to make, and I must mention, I haven't done this yet, but I must mention, so Rudolph has been made by Karen Mather. We will mention the others because we do appreciate the fact that you've made these, and he's so cute. So you're going to get the same book as we had in the last one with Santa, same book with all of these patterns, but this time the kit includes the yarn to make Rudolph. Here he is, isn't that? It's just so expressive, it really is. It's so sweet. So you're getting the yarn to make that, but all of the other patterns as well in there. Put those ones back so I don't lose track. So we just have one left. Yeah, we've got to have Santa doorstep. So this is Christmas Crochet Book 6. Did we not have that one just now? We did, didn't we? So this is the same book as the Christmas trees. And with this one, we're making the doorstop. I say we are making the doorstop. You are making the doorstop. And here he is, isn't he lovely? And this is what you're getting in the yarns. Oh, look at these, are so fluffy. It's gorgeous. Oh, so you can get toy stuffing underneath on the website. Looking underneath the trolley there. On the website, you can get toy stuffing because you're going to need that in there. And what else have you put in it?
Which are
pellets.
Yeah, there are pellets that go in the bottom for the weight.
Yeah, to give the weight to make it a doorstop. But if you don't want it as a doorstop and you want it as a cuddle toy, you don't have to put the pellets in. It's really cute. So this is the book again, that you get all of these in. So there's the trees that we've had already. and a cactus, and there is a doorstop, which is gorgeous. I just love this. Putting a little picture in. So really lovely project, really lovely. There's a whole lot of really lovely Christmassy projects.
Yeah.
So you ought to get every single one. So you can make all of these gorgeous things. I'm going to put those yarns back. Right, so that is all of our kits, which is brilliant. And you can see them on the website. So, you're going to show us some of the key skills we need to make all these lovely things.
I am. I took a few ideas from across all of them, and thought I'd show a few points from across all of the books for the different ones. The books are just brilliant,
aren't they?
I love the fact there's a real range of every single book has got at least one rather quick make in it for the little photo hangings and things like that, and then up to bigger ones. Decorations. It's a real range of things, and I love the tea cozies across them all.
Aren't they lovely?
I need to get about six
teapots
for Christmas, just so that I've got them all.
And stop making your tea with a tea bag in the cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Start using a teapot.
Buy everybody
It
a
does
teapot for
taste
Christmas.
different.
It does. It
really
absolutely
does taste different.
So I thought I'd start with lots of the projects across all of the books are done in the amigurumi style, which is the general way that you make a toy, where you work in the round and you're not doing any chains between your rounds. You're just going in a continuous spiral, increasing and then decreasing as needed. And it's a bit different from working in rows. So I thought I'd show the way that you start with that, because you can use that across quite a lot of them, all of the toys, the trees, the tea cozies, the doorstop, they're all going to be started in the same way.
Okay, brilliant.
The book asks you to do a magic ring rather than doing any chains and then making double crochets into a chain. So to do a magic ring, you wrap your yarn around your finger and back over itself until you've got a little cross, and you put your hook underneath and grab that yarn through and pull it up, and then take your working yarn and pull it through again, and then you've made a ring, which once you've done your first set of stitches, you can just pull it completely tight and get rid of any gap at the top. If you do a chain start, you're always left with a little hole, and then when you're putting stuffing in things, it always ends up poking out the top. So everything, every one of them.
Just do that again quickly.
Yes,
would you
absolutely.
mind?
No, not at all.
Just thinking
so
for beginners.
pinch your yarn between your thumb and your forefinger, wrap it around 2 fingers, go around the outside of it and across and hold it. So you've got
Well, that's what you're calling your working yarn.
my little kiss. Yeah,
Yes.
my working yarn's here.
Yes, yeah.
Made my little kiss. I'm going to go under the front piece, grab my hook and pull it through. And then I'm going to take that working yarn and make one chain through that little piece of loop. Oh, she says. And then I've got my pullable tail, so I can leave that hole as big as I need it for the time being.
Because you can pull it
And then you can pull it completely closed. And all of the patterns start with doing, your first round is going to be 6 double crochets straight into that ring. The double crochet is your very basic stitch where you go into your work, pull the yarn through, and then go through both loops on the stitches, and that's 1 double crochet made. So I'm going to do 6 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we can pull on that tail, and that's just going to completely shrink away into nothingness.
That's clever, isn't it? That's why
There's
it's magic.
no hole at all. It's one of those things, you may be faffing around a few times trying to get that loop, but once you've got it, it's such a great start for so many projects, and you just don't get left with any kind of weird gaps. So you've got 6 stitches, and you can see the little V's at the top of the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then from then on, you're just going to work the increases as the pattern tells you, and it's line by line. Every single increase is given to you. You have a stitch count at the end of each row so that you can keep a track of what you're doing. What I like to do is I like to get a little piece of, when I'm doing amigurumi, I don't tend to use stitch markers unless it's at the end of my work and I want to walk away and leave it, because you're moving them so often. I tend to just slip a little bit of yarn in, and that marks where the beginning of the round is, and I can just flick it around every time I get to the beginning of the round again. So you're going to be increasing the next round, so you need to do 2 double crochets into each stitch to make 12 rather than 6. So you're going to find that V, go through both loops, grab the yarn, pull it through for for your first double crochet and straight into the same stitch again. So you've got 2 stitches into one to get your increase, and you'd go all the way around those 6 stitches, putting 2 into every stitch, and then when you get back to the beginning, you'll see where your little orange piece is, and know that you've reached the end of the round. So you can always count back the number of stitches and just go back to that first stitch of the round if you think that you might have made a mistake and your stitch count doesn't match up. So now that it's under that stitch, so I've still got 2 more to do, and that will be my 12 stitches. So at the moment, I was going to show the little sock. So
that's how you started the toe?
That's how we started. So if you look, or if you opened it up, all the way down there. So you've worked in the rounds all the way across.
So it's the same as his little hooves?
Yeah, his nose, his ears will be the same. Every part of Santa's nose, Santa's hands, Santa's feet, they'll all be worked exactly that same way.
So by the time you've done one kit, you'll be an expert at those.
That's why you need to buy them all.
Magic ring, no problem.
So with the toes on these, and the same with the beginnings of the mittens, they'll just tell you how many increases to do in each round, and then you'll get to a point where you've got an entire part of a toe started and you need to change the colour. So I thought I'd show how to change the colour and get on from there. So I am going to, I've got 1 more stitch to make in this round, and instead of completing that stitch in the purple, I'm just going to grab my pink.
I love that pink.
It's so vibrant.
It really is.
Really great. And I'm just going to put it onto my hook and pull it through where I was making the stitch. So I've just completed the stitch in the pink rather than completing it in the purple, and I can carry on in the pink all the way around.
That's as simple as that.
And it's just that simple.
And what about the tail end?
So what I've been doing on these ones, because it's completely hidden inside, after I've done a round or so of the pink, I've just been going in and knotting the top end of the purple back with the pink with a little knot and just tucking it inside.
Okay.
Because I was then putting some stuffing inside afterwards anyway. That's not going to come loose, but if you wanted to, you could thread it onto a wool needle and just weave your ends in. With a little double knot on it inside. It's not going to come undone if you have to wash them for any reason. And no one's going to see it, so it's a bit sneaky, sticking a little double knot in there, but...
Well, don't do things you don't need to do.
No, absolutely. Getting another thing out and getting the scissors out. So, so when we go round to the main colour, and all that we're doing here is just going round in circles, and it tells you it's 6 rounds that you just go round and round just with the double crochets over and over again until you get the length of this foot. And the interesting bit that I wanted to show was adding the heel in, because that's always a complicated thing in real socks, adding the heel in, because it's at a completely different angle. So I have got one here where I've completed the toe part and the main part of the foot. And the instructions are then to change back to your contrast colour, and you're just going to, if I just change that in, and you're going to just do backwards and forwards rows now. You're not going to go around in a circle. So it's 10 double crochets across, and then you're going to turn on yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, just listening to me count now.
That's okay, I'm just fascinated. I go quiet when I'm doing the yarn lane shows because I just find it fascinating. I want to crochet and you make it look so easy, but I still haven't done it.
Every time it's one of the knitting shows, I think exactly the same though. I really do want to, but then I think the time that it would take me to sit down and practice knitting, I could have done several things crocheting, so I just get on with crocheting. So if you just go along you do 10 double crochets all the way along, you're going to do a turning chain, flip your work, and go back on yourself, and do 10 more. And it's several rows of you going backwards and forwards like that. And then it will ask you to do some decreases to bring the shape in a bit. And a decrease when you're doing double crochets is you go through the first stitch and grab your yarn and pull it through. Instead of completing that stitch by yarning over and coming through, you'd go into the next stitch as well and yarn over and then come through all 3 of those hoops. So you've just pulled the 2 stitches in together, and you'd finish the row off. And that just gives you, if I can move over to my next little piece.
I love the way you've got all these little. This is what
Otherwise,
I could
I'd only get to show one thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So you end up with a piece that's flat to start with, and then it curls in ever so slightly with these few decreases in the middle.
Yes.
And what you then do is it tells you in the book to fold them with the right sides together, so the outside, you'd fold them together like that, and then you'd use this little bit of yarn tail and just sew down here. So you can sew it if you wanted to thread it onto a needle, or I've actually fastened that off to keep it safe. You can slip stitch it together, which is what I was doing. And then you've already got your yarn on your hook, so you might as well just carry on using those stitches. So to do that, I'm folding my right sides together, and I'm going to go down this side. So I'm just going to go through the stitches at the back, grab my yarn, pull it through the loop on the hook, and go all the way down there. There's only 4 stitches to do.
So this is the same process if you were making socks?
Yeah, on a much smaller scale. But the general formation is like that. And then what we're going to do is join the main colour back in. I'm just going to stuff that back in there for now. And crochet round this edge and then this edge. And that will then take us around all the way up to the top. So I can show that, or I can move on to one of the other ones.
Shall we move
I was
on?
going to say, because
you've got quite a lot to
I've
show,
got lots and lots of
you?
bits. So the next one that I was going to show was the bobbly Christmas tree.
So in the bundle for this, you get enough to do all 3 of these trees?
All 3 trees. There's enough yarn. The lady that made these said that there was enough yarn. There isn't a name on these ones. I've got a feeling the lady's name was Adele.
Possibly Adele?
I'm not sure.
We might be able to find out because we want to say thank you.
Yes, absolutely. They're beautiful. She said that there was yarn left over from the Christmas tree, from the crocodile stitch one, but not enough to make another. You could make another 2 or 3 bubble ones, and you could probably make another 5 out of the smallest one.
Wow.
You could increase the stitch rounds and make it bigger if you wanted to make more of them that were bigger, once you get your head round it. So the bobbly stitch one is, again, worked in the round, and you have a couple of rounds where it's just double crochet, and then you'll have a round where you make these beautiful bobbles. So I thought I'd show the round making the bobbles.
Please do. And yes, I've just been given a piece of paper.
Uh-huh.
And the maker of the Christmas trees is Adele Coward.
There we go.
So thank you, Adele. They are lovely.
So I've got all the way to round 41, and so it tells me that I need to make 1 double crochet in the next double crochet. I'm going to flick that out of the way. And then a bobble in the next stitch. And to make the bobble, so any of the stitches, if you have crocheted before and there are stitches that you haven't done, so a bobble or a crocodile stitch or anything like that, there is in the back of the book a really lovely, bring that back in here, really lovely little guide with really decent instructions. It's not just sort of
on how to do.
So to make the bobble, it's telling you yarn around the hook, insert into the stitch, yarn again and pull the loop up. There's 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, and I'll do that at the same time because I've got to do that stitch. So we're yarning through as if we're going to do a treble.
Just move it up a little. That's it.
And then we're going to go through the stitch. So we've got our 3 loops. If we were doing a treble normally, we'd yarn through 2 and yarn through again, but we're going to leave part of that stitch on. We're going to keep going, just yarning through on 2.
Are you going through the same one each
all
time?
through the same stitch until there's 5 on that hook, and then you pull through all of them, and that's your little bob stitch. So then it tells us that we need to do 9 more double crochets. Now I find, I don't know what it is because it's very individual to people as they crochet. Some people, when they make their bobbles, it stays on the right side, and other people like me, I think it's because I go forwards. When I then put my double crochets in afterwards, my bobble is on the wrong side, but it's absolutely fine because once you're a few stitches in, you just give it a little poke with your finger and flick the stitches to the right side.
Oh, good, yeah.
So it doesn't matter where your bobble lands, as long as you remember to go back and
go back and
give it a little poke again. So I'll show the bobble once more. Once I've got another couple of stitches in. So we are yarning over, going through the next stitch, pull through and go through 2, and then do it again, all in the same stitch, yarn over, through the stitch, pull it up, another 2. Every time you do it, you're leaving an extra loop on your hook. And all you've got there is a bunch of half trebles, all looped together and then forced into one little bobble.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's a really effective stitch. I love it as on the edges of blankets.
Yes.
It's a lot texture in baby blankets. It's really lovely. And then again, if it's that one's randomly poked, stayed on the right side. So, but that's all it is. It increases. You'll have a round of bobbles and then a round of normal double crochet and then a round of increases to bring the size up, and then you start all over again. And it gives you every single number on each round as to how many stitches in between each bobbles and how many bobbles each round has. So it's really nice and simple.
And you start at the pointy bit and you go down to the wider bit.
Yeah, so same magic ring started with a little bit. So, and once it's stuffed, it stuffs up really quite firmly, so it's really nice. It stands up beautifully, and they're lovely.
They're sweet, aren't they?
I quite fancy those in all of the fairy garland colours, like a little rainbow of Christmas trees. I think they'd be absolutely beautiful.
Or you can put your garland of lights around them.
Yes.
That would be nice.
You could get like a lace weight and use the pattern of the garland.
Marilyn Dixon did these. They're gorgeous, I love these.
So the next one I was going to show is the crocodile stitch, which is a personal favourite of mine.
This one, the crocodile stitch? Yes.
I absolutely love it. It's just a really interesting stitch. It's just really fun to make. So I'm going to show you a couple of things on this one because there's basic rounds with the crocodile stitch where you do 3 chains and a treble into underneath each stitch. There's a set of trebles from the round below. You go straight into that and you would go all the way around the entire round doing 2 trebles into the centre of each crocodile stitch and then 2 trebles into the hidden couple of trebles from the round below. And then when you have gone all the way around...
15 minutes left.
Oh my goodness.
I know, doesn't time fly?
I'll do this very quickly then. So when you have gone all the way around, you've made this what I call a ladder. When I'm making crocodile 6, it feels like a ladder because you're then working around it. I'm just going to chop this and go back and start at the beginning on that ladder. Where have I hidden my scissors? There they are. So you've got all the way around, you would have this set of 2 trebles going across, and it will then tell you to chain 2 at the beginning when you join yourself back round, and then you're going to be, I find it's much easier to work sideways when I'm doing crocodile stitch, because you're doing trebles, half trebles, sorry, down one side of the first treble that you made and then back up the other side of the treble that you made, and then you're moving along. So I sort of turn my work on its side and I can do a half treble, which is yarn round your hook and through as if you were doing a treble, but instead of yarning through 2 and yarning through 2 again, you just go through all of them, and you need to do 4, 2, and then 1 chain, and then turn it the other way and work up the other end of your ladder. If I can move that piece of yarn there. So you've now got the other side of those 2 trebles, and we're going to go, oh, I missed it. 1,
Love your nails, by the
2.
way.
I went Christmassy with the nails as well. They're very glittery.
They are.
I'm probably going to get some funny looks this week. Well, we're into only less than 90 days. It can't be that long before you have to start cracking out the glittery stuff.
No, exactly. I'm all for glitter all year, so.
So you've made your first scale, and you would then slip stitch into the centre of the next 2 trebles, which gives you the stepped effect, because they alternate.
Yes.
And then, so the one above the scale 2 rows below, you're going to do the next. So you're going to do 5 half trebles around this first treble, 3, 4 and 5, and then 1 chain, spin it round and do 5 back up the other side here on this treble. 1, 2. I've lost my working yarn there, sorry. 3, 4 and 5, and then you've got your scales. And again, you'd slip stitch in between the next set of trebles to anchor the edge of that down. And you've made the next 2 scales for the round. And you just work it all the way around. The only thing that I found on this one, when it comes to the decrease to make it move upwards, there's a lot of brackets going on in the pattern. And I just thought I'd make a note of the fact that I found highlighting the different sets of brackets really, really helped, just because otherwise it looks, if you get halfway through reading a line, you forget where the bracket started and which one you're actually within. I found it was really, really helpful to be able to just concentrate on the set of instructions before I went on to the next. It's
makes sense.
Yeah, but as long as you've read through, it's really easy to get your head around it once you've read the whole thing. It's quite easy when you're doing a line by line pattern to just do, I'll do that bit now. But on the decrease of the crocodile stitch, I do recommend reading the whole piece of that round just to help you out. But the effect of it is absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't
I love
it lovely?
it.
It's real Christmas tree-y.
It is. Properly looks like scales, doesn't it? So the next one that I was going to have a little show was these African flowers. On the
this is the stocking, isn't
the
it?
stockings, yes. So every single one of them is made the same way. It's just the size of the yarn and the size of the hook that you're using that give you the different sizes. So I think you 4-ply and DK and then chunky, or maybe even super chunky. They're very, very, very thick.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so squishy as well.
Was it this one, wasn't it?
Yes.
That one? Yeah, so this is chunky.
Yeah.
Is that one thicker or is that the same?
The
Chunky,
green
that's
goes
chunky
the
as
chunky,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
The green and
Yeah.
the winey colour are for the bigger one. But yeah, so it's really, really
It's lovely yarn,
soft,
very soft
to work with.
King Cole yarns.
So again, you're starting on this one with a magic ring to get your centre. So I'm going to just do a little magic ring, and you are doing 3 chains which count as the first treble, and then a treble into the ring, and then a chain and 2 more trebles. And each of these 2 trebles is going to count as the beginning part of one of the petals. So we're doing 2 trebles and a chain, and 2 trebles again, and a chain. And again, with these ones, it's completely up to you. The lady who made these stockings she's pulled hers completely tight in the middle. I decided to leave mine with a little hole, but because you've got the magic ring, you can pull that
decide
as much as you wanted
I like
to.
it with a little hole as well. So the stockings is Marilyn Dixon. So thank you, Marilyn, for these. They're lovely. I love the stockings.
Yeah. I think the little one would be a nice little pet one. Or maybe if you do your elf on a shelf, it could be something that he hides in.
Oh, God, yes.
And when you have done all 6 of your sets, my yarn tail is flicking all over the place. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you'd end with another chain and slip stitch to that first chain 3 that you did to form the beginning round. So through the top and grab your yarn, slip it through on the hook and then you're done with the first round.
My goodness, that's quick.
Yeah. So I would then fasten that off and grab my next colour.
But on yours, on yours now, that's a round, whereas on the
It is.
the bit in front of you, it looks more like a flower.
Yeah, so you'll carry on in the round, and then when you get to the red round, the shape that produces starts to give it more of a hexagon shape, and then the white border actually pulls it, it gives it corners which pull it into shape. So here you pick one of your chain spaces and just pull your yarn in, and you're doing 3 chains, a treble, a chain and 2 trebles. So that first chain 3 counted as the first of your trebles, and all you're doing is exactly the same in every single one of the chain spaces below. You're going to do 2 trebles, a chain and 2 trebles, which gives you your next green layer and the next sort of outer pattern of petals. Ooh. And you'd go all the way around until you got to
And that's what's making the white ring more petally.
yes, so each round will pull the round below more into shape, because you can see where the chain in this one that I've made is, until you sort of pull it apart, you can't really see the chain spaces as much, but each time you force more stitches into that chain space, it widens it up and gives you that bit more structure to it. And then you're adding in round C, you are in any of the chain spaces here, and we're doing 7 trebles into that. So our first one will be a chain 3 acting like a treble, and then 7, so 6 to make the 7. Oh, one of my dog hairs, apologies. My Jack Russell, constantly picking white dog hairs off everything.
Oh, it's the same with our cat. It's cat hairs off everything. And I used to put a blanket down for him because he was always molting all over the furniture. So I put a nice blanket down thinking, just molt on that. But then he'd immediately move somewhere else.
Go somewhere, oh, of
Like,
course,
no,
absolutely. So we've done the chain 3 and 6 in there, and then we're moving over to the next chain space and doing 7 trebles into that, which again, as you move round, is going to force the green round into more of a petally shape. So when you've gone round and you've done 7 trebles in every one of the chain spaces from the round below, you're going to end up with even more flowery looking. And this round is where you do the spike stitch, which gives this beautiful effect here.
It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, it reminds me of I want to say the War of the Roses, but you know the Tudor rose.
The Tudor rose, yes.
The Tudor rose.
Yes, it does.
Has that look to it, hasn't it?
So we are joining at the top of...
Just over 5 minutes left.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll very quickly show the spike stitch then, because I think that's one that would be quite useful. And all we're doing is we're doing double crochets all the way along the top of those 7 that we did in the round below. And then when we get to the point that, when we get to the edge, we're going to skip this bit here, and we're going to go down into the green below, which is still a double crochet, but you want to keep your tension quite loose here, because you want to draw it up to the level of the stitches that you're already doing, and that's your spike stitch.
Wow.
And then we would go around again, do another 7 of these, and spike stitch again when we get to the end of the 7. So we're ignoring the red and going down to this gap here in the green, through both parts of it. Grab it and pull it up, tug it up so that it's at the right level, and that's it. And that's your spike stitch. And then all we're doing, once you've gone all the way around with the spike stitch, it's just more double crochets with then, you can see that it started to get that pattern of the hexagon, but it adds a corner in. It's just double crochets with chain spaces in the corners, which then gives you that flatter and much more defined look. And then there is one that you have to make that's a square rather than a hexagon, and that goes over the toe. If I can see it on here, it's this one here. So you get, if I pull it here, pull that flat, just to make the right shape of the, you get one.
Oh, I see, yes.
One square that then makes the proper shape across the entirety of the stocking.
It's very clever.
Which is lovely. And these, I love makes like this where you can make a couple of these flowers a night and put it down, and then if you, you know, you can, or have it in a bag if you're going,
If you're
waiting for
by
your
public
kids
transport or on the
doing
train,
swimming classes,
Yes.
you can
Oh,
get a couple of
yes.
flowers done, and you don't need to take up loads of room. You just take a ball
take
of
a
yarn
bag
and a
ball
hook, and
of
you're
yarn,
done.
yeah.
So yeah, they're brilliant. But no, I've loved making all of these. I couldn't pick a favourite.
I do want to say, before we move on, I do want to say, so stockings and fairy lights, Marilyn Dixon, thank you. That was really lovely. Father Christmas and Rudolph, very cute, Karen Hatton. Santa doorstop and the Christmas trees, Adele Coward. And the Christmas pudding tea cosy and the stocking and mittens garland, which is this one, and the tea cosy's on Vanessa's one. That is Andrea Plume. Thank you for all of you for doing those, because they are lovely. And it makes it so much nicer to see finished product, isn't it?
Yes,
to see
definitely.
what we can all achieve with this. Now, the most popular kit is the Fairy Light Garland. This one. So this is the Fairy Light Garland, which comes with that little book as well. So it's £24.99. And there are only 9 left of this. And you get all of these lovely yarns that I've got in front of me here, all of these ones, which are really lovely, with the glitz in. They've got 2 of them, have got, oh, 3 of them have got the really lovely glitter in them to make these lights sparkle. Absolutely beautiful. And single figures also on, oh, the garland with the socks and mittens. I think people are liking the idea of making little garlands. I think they are cute. Almost miniature bottle size, you know. Yeah, just saying.
adult advent calendar.
Yes, indeed. Can we have a look at Santa's beard?
Yeah,
please?
absolutely. That was the
That's
other
this
one that I
here,
really,
isn't it?
I thought the shape that's made across Santa's beard is really quite interesting, and it's made with you going up in increases all the way along, and then you actually split off and you crochet some decreases up this side, and then some more up that side. So if I start him off. So we're making a slip knot this time rather than a magic ring, because we're working in the flat and we're going in rows. So we're just going to pop a little slip knot on there, and we're going to do 2 chains, and then ignoring that first chain, we're going to go in and do 1 double crochet into the first chain that we made, and then chain 1, go back on ourselves, back into that 1 double crochet that we've made. We're going to make 2. And then we're going to chain again, and across those 2 we're going to put 2 in each of them, and we're just going to increase up and up as we're building the point of his beard up. So I've got 4 there, and then the next round I'm going to chain 1 and turn. I'm going to do an increase in each of the outer stitches, so 2 in that one, then 2 normal double crochets and 1 more increase at the end to make 6 stitches. And it carries on like that through the pattern, with it all set out line by line, how many increases on the outside edge, how many normal double crochets through the rest of the line, and how many increases on the other edge, until you get to a triangular piece. And I'll do that last increase. So it goes from this tiny little looking piece here to this.
There is his beard, it's grown.
That's the beginning of his beard. And from there, you do a chain and a turn, and you work 5 normal double crochets across. 3, 4, 5. Then it tells you to do a crochet together, a decrease, which pulls that middle part of his beard in, and then a chain and 4 slip stitches. So you're going to go into the stitch, pull the yarn through and straight through on the hook.
So we've had a message saying, Pat said, thank you very much for the demonstration. She's loving this hour.
Oh,
She's
good.
loving the demos. And Regina across the Boston, Lisa has said, thank you so much for this demonstration. It's the first time that I've understood how to do the magic ring.
Oh,
that's brilliant. Thank you.
No, that's
you
great.
did make it very clear.
Oh, it was a proper changer for me to be able to master that and do it quickly.
We have a question from Sally. Good afternoon, ladies. Can I please ask if the books used UK terminology or US?
UK, definitely UK. Yes, I
Good,
meant to say
thank
that
you.
right at the beginning. It was right at the top of my notes and I've just skimmed straight past it. But no, it's definitely UK. No single crochets
those
here.
pesky Yanks changing it all. What are they doing?
So yes, and then we're reversing the instructions that we've just done. So we're going across, and when we get to the end, we're now going to split the sides of his beard and just go up in these smaller parts. So we are going to just do 4 double crochets, 2, 3, 4, a double crochet together where we're going to, which acts like a decrease, and then we're going to turn back around and just work along what we've done. We're going to go up and up with that. So this is another decrease here and 3 double crochets.
And then to do the other side, you just sort of
join
again.
You join your yarn
again.
in again, and then you can just weave the pieces away. So you just, each time you do a row, the inside edge has a decrease in it, which decreases the number of stitches and gives that lovely curved edge to it. And you end up, so you've started to see it moving up like that.
Yes.
And it moves up,
That's
and
what
right at the
I've
very
done.
end of the instructions there's a chain 3, which is sort of his sideburns, I suppose. And then
Isn't it
leave
cute?
a long tail at each end to fix it on and sew it into his head, and then you end up with this cute little beard.
Very cute.
Which
Thank
I loved.
you.
I just love the way it's very cleverly shaped. I really love the way that it was done.
I think so. I think you're right. It's really cute. I like the way on that one is his moustache is a little to one side.
Looks like he's giving a little wink.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does. Thank you ever so much for that, Vanessa.
No worries. Thank
We're
you
really
for
up
having me.
against time now, so just what? Oh yes. So along with the Little Santa, there's always also the Rudolph bundle, which is, and this is one Karen Hatton has done this one. This is the Rudolph bundle, and that comes with the brown yarns and of course the red for his little nose. $14.99. So all the details of all the yarns that come in each of the bundles is on the website, and you can click on the details and it tells you exactly what balls of yarn you're getting for each of the kits. If you want the Santa doorstop, please check out either of the garlands, because they are particularly low on stock, and if you don't check out, they are not necessarily yours. And don't forget, of course, if you've bought something on Sewing Street, that post and packing is also covering for Yarn Lane as well. Now, Yarn Lane is back on Wednesday doing Snuggle Toys with Catherine Wright. So we are now at the end. That is it. Have a good day and enjoy, and let's hope the weather doesn't get too bad.